Another top of the morning day here at Long Thumbs. So I started running my pump this morning, making a new batch, and it started leaking from this oil. Started leaking like a milky white, as you can see here. So I was a little disappointed, sad, depressed. Anyway, I got on one of the groups that I'm in on Facebook, and they pretty much told me what I need to do. They said I need to buy a D30 repair kit for this pump. I'm assuming I have to take this red cap off and rebuild it, or clean it out first and then rebuild it. I'm gonna take it to a place that sells that, and I'm hoping they can do it all for me. 'Cause I'd rather just pay somebody than, well, I'd rather pay somebody to show me how to do it, put it that way, because I actually want to see them do it if they let me, so that if it ever happens again. This is the second time it's happened. The first time this happened last year. I've had this pump now for probably 5 years, or this sprayer, and then it just happened for the first time last year, so I thought that I'd be good. You know, I bought a new pump, and it was 500 bucks. So I still have the old one here. I don't know what to do with it, so I just put it off here to the side. And I thought I'd use it for parts, but if that was the same exact brake that this has, I figure I can't use that. So anyway, pump, and the oil start like looking like milky white cream coming out. It's because you got a, most likely because you got a crack in one of these diaphragms. So these are the two side diaphragms, and then there's the one on top. This is the one that goes on the top underneath the red cap. So of the D30 pumps. So anyway, you can do this yourself, just so you know. So I lost a $250 bet, and I'm on my way to pay it right now. Well, actually, I'm on my way to try to get this pump fixed, but I'm also picking up my buddy and paying my debt. So I'm here at my buddy's shop at Green Grounds to pay my bet. He's still not here. He's actually, he'll be here in a minute. But so anyway, just want to talk about this bet a little bit. So we had some bigger goals this year than we ever did. So at the start of the season, me and Taylor came up with this bet to see who could get a $250,000 first in revenue, and we were both neck and neck pretty much for the whole season. There were the early months I was winning, and then he started to catch up, and then he passed me, and then it was like kind of neck and neck. I was really close to him, and last week he hit it, or at the end of the week. Anyway, he beat me. I still think I'm about 4 or 5 weeks away from me hitting it, if things keep going the way they've been going. So, you know, yeah, dude, I wish I won, of course, but I'm so happy that I was part of this bet, because it pushed me to try and hit that goal, which last year I ended a little bit more than that, and I'm about to hit that this year, like already, and there's like 5 more months left in the season. So if you count holiday lights and snow clearing, so you know, I could still possibly hit that. Well, I know I'm gonna hit that for sure, but so we have another, like, part of the bet was the first to 250. The next part of the bet was the first one to 500. So right now I owe him for the first part of the bet, but then we still have to see who can hit 500. Now, the way that the way that I've been heading, I don't think 500 is realistic for me. If I continue on with the work and the customers I have now, I'll be lucky to do 400. So we broke down those numbers, and he's realistically able to hit 500. So he may win that bet too. But what I love about this is that you should definitely find somebody in your, close by, maybe not in your service area, but somebody that's in the same, that does the same thing as you, and try and push each other to try and hit that goal. Try and set goals together and try and compete against each other, because I'm pretty sure that all us lawn care business owners are really competitive. We're in business for ourselves because we think we can do things really good. So I would definitely challenge yourself to find somebody to hold a competition with and to try and hit those numbers, because nothing pushes me like competition. So anyway, I'm really impressed with this guy. He deserves it. He is somebody that totally works on his business. This guy, right from when he started, he was basically working on his business, not in his business. Yeah, he had to mow like we all did to get started, but as soon as he could, he was jumping out of the field as soon as possible. This guy hired an office manager before he even had a customer. So that's letting you know that it's a different mentality. Where I was the guy who was like a one-man band. I was answering phones, I was working out there, I was spraying, and I'm still spraying, but I was mowing, cleaning gardens, doing everything, spreading myself as thin as possible, still coming home with an average paycheck, you know what I mean? So he was always from the start telling me that, you are actually worth more money out of the field doing estimates, dispatching work, delegating, and I just didn't buy into that at first for some reason. And as I started getting more customers, and last year I started realizing the benefit of it, and I should have been listening to my buddy Taylor this whole time, but I know now, and I lived through it, so I can't say I regret, or I can't say that I didn't at least try to do it the other way. Delegating work is way more efficient. Your value is higher when you're out there estimating and delegating work and keeping the dispatch board full and keeping your employees working. That's where the value is, and that's what I've been doing finally. Okay, so I'm here to pay my debt, bro. What was it, 200 bucks?
I don't know, 250?
250, yeah. There you go. Good job, man.
Thanks.
Very impressed with you, by the way. And this competition actually brought out a lot of good in me, too. Like, it pushed me. Did it for you, too?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm always the type that's kind of feet to the fire. If I need to meet some goals, I always bring some people into it and make a little competition out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed that with you, like with your Christmas lights.
Yeah.
Like, that was a good example. Like, you had no Christmas light customers, but yet you spent like 7 to 10 grand in lights.
Yeah, a lot.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that forced you to go out there and sell. And I think that that's good, like a good example of what holding your feet to the fire is like,
Yeah.
Going out there and getting it done.
Yeah.
Well, good job, bro.
Okay, thanks, appreciate it.
So, believe it or not, this mower was still under warranty by about 14 hours. So all those hoses were replaced for just over 100 bucks. I got all brand new hoses and the labor. So I lucked out on this one right here. And how's it working, Will?
It works great.
You love it?
Yeah, I do.
Nice.
Makes it a lot easier.
I know. How long did it take you to do this house with that?
Probably about 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
We talked for 5 of them.
Yeah, that's true. Sorry. So I've got a heavy weed job on the dispatch board today. So I offer a package when a customer calls and they don't want the whole yearly long program. They're not worried about the fertilizer or health or color. They just have tons of weeds. We have a program that's a 2 application program just designed for that customer. So today I have one. We have a lot of those in the, in the early spring, early summer weeks. And so I can do a full route. We try and schedule them all on the same day because I put Speed Zone into that application for the first application, and then I put T-Zone on the second. The reason I put Speed Zone on the first application is because it works so fast that customers can go out the next day and see weeds that are dying, and they can automatically see that, be happy. Let's talk about this. Let's see how much. So because it's only one application, I'm only putting in about 25 gallons into the tank, and I'll go spray. What I love about these heavy weed application jobs is that it doesn't require any fertilizer. In fact, it's just primarily to kill the weeds. So it's just got Speed Zone. So again, let me explain. Okay, so we apply Speed Zone on that first application because the customers can see results immediately. So they can see that they spent money and it's actually working. And I just love that they can see weeds dying pretty much within 24 hours. They can see a lot of weeds that are just withering away. So then we schedule 2 weeks later a T-Zone application. And that T-Zone will take care of those clovers that the Speed Zone might have not been able to take care of on that first application, or the purple violets. And that's it. So now they have 2 weeks, and the customer can actually call back within that 2 week time and say they don't want the second application, and that's fine with me. Okay, most of them just go ahead and do it. And now with that program, they can pay after each application. After each application, we charge their card. Now, sometimes the customer says, I don't have time, or I live out of state. I'm not going to be able to, just let me pay for it all up front now. And then they'll pay for the 2, and then we just do the 2. And then that's it. We don't have a card on file for that kind of thing. So I'm doing one of those today. So basically, when I only have one, I put 25 gallons in my tank, and I do 2 cups of Speed Zone, and then I cycle that through, or I run that through my tank, and then I go do the house, and then whatever's left over, then I just keep that in my tank, and then I just make more for however many houses I have. But at least that first house got the Speed Zone and no fertilizer. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm actually trying to hurry because I've got Greene County Fertilizer Company coming and filling my Green Effect, and depending on what else he might have, I may get something else. But right now, I just want Green Effect fertilizer, and I'm using that with my herbicide products right now for this month. So I'm trying to get this all done before I get the call that he's on his way to do that. So again, here's the Speed Zone, and I'm only making the minimum batch. Oh, sorry. That is going to be, the minimum batch is 2 cups. I could make less, but I don't like doing math, and this is the easiest way to measure. 2 cups per 25 gallons of water. So I like to cycle through. I always put the hose into the tank. I'm actually going to take the net off so nothing gets held in the net. So I also put in a sticky agent in there, and it's my trusted PS 804. Stinks so bad. Since there's only since there's only 20 gallons, I only need to put in half a pint. So I'm gonna do that right now. Oh, it smells so bad. What's it smell like? I'm trying to describe that smell. It's like, oh man, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like, all right, it's like vinegar, all right? If you open a bag of salt and vinegar chips, it's like that, but 100 times more concentrated. All right, so what this does, it sticks to the plants, and it's got an oil, it's oily, so it not only sticks to the plant, but it actually, like little screwdrivers, goes into the plant, and so it allows the herbicide to go in faster, kind of like injecting it with needles. That's probably, I don't know how accurate that is. That's just how I always look at it. So I'll let that cycle through for a little bit and mix really good. And I've got an email with a new customer wanting a quote. So while that's mixing, I'm gonna hurry and do that and try and get a new customer for mowing. So I'll measure the property up real fast, call her back, and let her know how much it'll be, and see if we can put it on the schedule today. I try to put new mows the same day. The guys, they're so used to it, they don't even, it doesn't even faze them anymore. They look at their list and go, oh, I got it first time mow. So, and the customer loves that, because they're like, oh, you can get out here today? Then definitely sign me up. So let's see how it goes. So they didn't, this lady did not leave an address, so I can't measure it before I call her. So I'm gonna have to do this while I talk to her. Hi, Hey, this is Freddie with Lawn Thumbs calling you back. You wanted a quote for mowing? Hey, so what's your last name? And what's the address? So how's the lawn look now while it's pulling up? Some what patches? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So let me measure this. I'm almost done. So besides mowing, anything else you might need? Fertilizer, weed control? Oh, good. Okay, perfect. Okay, sounds good. So for mowing, let me give you the regular weekly price. Oops, didn't come up yet, sorry. Okay, so regular weekly price would be $43.97, and then we also give everybody the every 2 week price, so that would be $61.96. just in case you wanted to go every 2 weeks. And then, so the first time mow kind of depends on the price of the lawn. Sorry, the height of the lawn. So if it looks like a normal lawn that, you know, they just went to one before you and then they're gonna go to one after and it looks exactly the same, it would be $43.97. If it's tall, like they've got to, you know, spend a little more time edging, bagging, it's gonna be double that cost. And if it's horrible, like they're like, wow, we're gonna be here for a while and they're gonna call the office, it could be $175.88. So, and we can probably be out there today too. Yeah. Just a guess, somewhere around 4 to 6 o'clock. Okay, so are you gonna want weekly mow? Okay. Okay. Yeah, sounds good. No problem. So I'm ready for the card whenever you are. Okay. And just while you're looking for that, is the okay. Okay. Yeah, definitely. Okay, I'm ready. Yeah, it's basically up to the mow guys, you know, and if it's, I'm assuming it's not horrible, but if it's like even more than the 4-time price, they're gonna call and reschedule that. And then we'll give you a custom quote, but if they can do it, they will. What's the expiration date? Okay, perfect. Expiration date? One second. Yeah, and that'll get charged when they're done, you know. And then we do offer other services too. So, you know, we do garden maintenance, pruning, planting, you know, things like that. So if you need that, let us know. But I've got you on the schedule, and let me just make sure it's. Let me just make sure. I'm gonna try to put it in front of the house so I can. So it's. Yeah. Yeah, definitely with the two. Okay, perfect. So we'll be there. I appreciate it. And by the way, how'd you hear about us? Okay. Awesome. Well, hope that you can keep that going for us. All right, well, thanks. We'll be there today. Okay, thanks, bye. Boom, got another one. Heavy weeds job. And I see a lot of spurge. Yeah, a lot of spurge. I see some dandelions. I also see crabgrass right there, all along line, and then just a lot of spurge. So yeah, there, and then, oh, morning glory too. So if you see those white flowers, that means there's some morning glory in here. or field bindweed. That's a really ugly weed. People hate that. So yeah, just more spurge, crabgrass, and everybody's favorite, dandelions. So I'm gonna treat this first step with Speed Zone. I like to walk the borders. That's usually where the crabgrass is. It's so weird. Yeah, it's really in here good. Man, I've got to be careful. I may not have enough for the backyard with all these weeds, all these crabgrass. Yeah, there's a big patch back here that I saw. Right over here. As I walk around, I try and remember when I see crabgrass but sometimes I just forget, so I have to retrace my steps to make sure. Dandelions around here. There's some crabgrass. Now people mistake this tall fescue for crabgrass. That is not crabgrass, but I spray it anyway, just in case. And a lot of times I'll tell the customer, I did spray those patches, and if it didn't die, then it's not crabgrass. But if it is, it will die. So that reassures them too, that at least I tried. So I just got a text from my garden manager. She was planting at Buffalo Wild Wings, and she punctured, well, she doesn't know for sure, but she thinks she punctured a little drip line sprinkler. So I'm actually pretty close by, so I'm gonna go check it out. So here's the flower bed that she just planted this morning. I thought I'd catch her here, but I guess she just finished up. So here's the pipe. I guess while she was digging, I don't know how she did it so hard. It's not even deep in here. Maybe the soil was dry. So anyway, she punctured right here, so it sprays out. So I'm gonna have to cut it and then put in that coupler again. To connect the two. So hopefully there isn't any more cuts than that. Let's see. Hopefully I have a big enough coupler. This is a different, and of course I don't. Damn it. So I've got to go back and get a bigger one. It sucks. So I went to Lowe's. Luckily they share the same parking lot here. They didn't have a coupler, a 5/8 coupler like this, but I found this, and I'm gonna try to see if it works. Put it on. It didn't go on as smoothly as I was hoping, but I'm hopeful it will work. So I'm about to turn it on. So it looks like it's holding. That's gonna work, so I'm gonna bury that. And that'll be it. The customer was asking if there's any way to bring them back. These 40 feet, I'm gonna call them cedars, look like they're dead. And luckily I have the man himself, John Perry, here to, I don't know, kind of evaluate what you think. So what do you think's going on here?
Yeah, I actually think that well, do you know how old when these went in the ground?
Yeah, I would say less than 4 months ago.
Okay, yeah, so that's transplant shock. This is transplant shock. I'm gonna say these probably were kind of heavily dropped when they were first brought in.
Okay.
So, more than likely, and I think if we dug around down on the bottom, we could see if there's anything still binding the roots up.
Yeah, they still have the baskets, I know that.
Yeah, burlap too?
Possibly.
Okay, so they may be kind of root bound, and given how much water is down there, it's entirely possible that they're drowning them up here.
Oh, really?
As well.
Okay.
So, they are, well, that spruce tree is still very much alive. This guy, I have less hope for.
Really?
Yeah, that is dead. That's dead. I don't know about this guy. I think he's
Okay.
about toast. That's dead. There's no live material there. I mean, there could be a little bit something left on the inside, but these branches are all toast. And I'm gonna probably go the same for this one too.
Well, the good news is they do have a year warranty.
They're gonna need to, let's just, ready?
Yeah.
Oh, that one's got some life. Not enough though. I mean, I think it's probably, I think it's probably too late for these. But I'm gonna say that was purely transplant shock. Killed those two. But again, given how much water is flowing down off of this thing, it wouldn't surprise me if they drown down underneath, and when they come out,
Yeah.
that'd be the thing to look for. Is like they'll yank them, and if it smells septic, that's probably what happened. Is the roots rotted out.
Okay.
So, that one can come back. Not worried about that.
Okay.
However, I don't think those are gonna make it.
Okay. I'll let them know.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
honestly, you know, with trees this size, whatever they might have gone through when they were first
Right.
pulled out, you know,
And they were delivered from Idaho too, so
Yeah.
who knows how they were
it's just-
treated.
when I worked at the nursery years and years in my teens and stuff like that, that was the biggest thing. Is like, you know, you had to get them out of the ground right. You had to get them gently, you know, onto. If they fell at any time or
Yeah.
anything broke apart, you run the risk of this. But on the next set of the trees, if they replace them, you know, if we get some material in when they plant it, they'll.
Okay. So what do you say? What do I need to do with this, with your products of Greene County Fertilizer?
Okay, so this one, what's going to bring this back the quickest and what you have on hand is we're going to use the Seek,
Okay.
which is a highly concentrated sea kelp with extra potassium, and then also a little bit of 700. And to do this tree, I only want you to use like 2 ounces of the Seek
Okay.
and about 4 ounces of the 700. Mix it in a 5-gallon bucket and just pour it down around the base. Wait about 2 weeks, come back out, see if there's new growth coming off of it, and then maybe do it again.
Okay.
Not
So
too bad.
just the root drain.
That's it.
Don't need to spray the whole tree?
Nope. You just pour it right down to the bottom and let it just do its thing. And the reason, I mean, you can do a spray inside here and hit the whole thing, but if this is a transplant shock thing, I think if you just kind of get down inside, get down in here, and then, you know, all this brown stuff will start to shed off.
Okay.
It'll come off, and you'll start to see new growth push wherever there's still life at the end here,
Okay.
and it'll come back.
All right. So initial drain,
2 and 4,
And then-
5 gallons of water right in the middle.
and
come
then
back
2
in 2
weeks, same thing.
Same thing.
And again,
If
should
you
I
need
keep doing it, or
Only
will
if
it
it's
hurt?
looking. No, I don't know if you would want to do that hot a mix the next time.
Okay.
But you know, shoot me a picture of it in 2 weeks, and then we can decide.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Thanks, John.
Easy
Appreciate
peasy.
it. Find John at
Oh, Lawncology. on YouTube.
Lawncology.
Find me on there.
Right on.
Yeah.
Thanks.